Yo, yo, yo! What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another podcast to talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. Unfortunately, the Arizona Cardinals. Hopefully, everybody's having a fantastic Monday outside of your fandom. Hopefully, your life's doing really well. Christmas is upon us. Hopefully, you got some really good Christmas presents under the Christmas tree. And for you all dads and moms out there, hopefully you get something good as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about the aftermath of what we saw over the weekend, Cardinals and Texans. Cardinals lose 6 straight games, and still a lot of uncertainty going on with the Arizona Cardinals. But here we go. Shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. We got Ryan, we got Naive, we got Adrian, we got Arturo, Jay. Appreciate you guys for being here. Smack the like button on your way in. Let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot to talk about today, and I get it. I understand it. For the people out there that don't want nothing to do with this Arizona Cardinals organization, nothing to do with this Arizona Cardinal team in 2025, I get it. I'm right there with you, ladies and gentlemen. And I've been tasked by a lot of different people out there, right? Because after every single game, I've prided myself to post a post-game reaction of my favorite team. And I had a lot of comments out there after this Texans game saying, I hate to see you sad. Just stop talking about this team. Well, I mean, doing this for as long as I have, I've been able to make this a quote unquote job. And it's kind of my job to talk about this team, unfortunately. If it was easy for me to switch teams, I would have. I would have loved to watch any other team but this Cardinals organization, of course. But unfortunately, where we are at right now, I don't think anybody would have predicted that we were a 3-win team. We got 3 games left, and I don't think anybody's got any hope. I mean, on the contrary, I think we have people out there saying that I think that the Cardinals are that dumb that they're probably going to mess up a quote unquote tank job that we've already created for ourselves. Let's be real. A win right now does nothing. A win right now does nothing but secure another potential excuse for Jonathan Gannon to come back. That's all it really does right now. And right now, with what we've known by Jonathan Gannon and what he's proven to be in the NFL, he's not a winning head coach, ladies and gentlemen. It's as simple as that. He's not a winning head coach in the NFL. And on top of that, you're sitting in the NFC West. You're going to sell to your fan base that we're going to be giving you Jonathan Gannon with a division with Mike McDonald, Kyle Shanahan, and Sean McVay, and we're supposed to be okay with that? No. No, I don't think anybody's going to be okay with that. Right now, the Arizona Cardinals are going to be tasked with a very, very important decision heading into the 2026 season. And it all kind of stems around the idea of what are they going to do with the head coaching position. Right now, Jonathan Gannon is 15-33 on his 3 years, and it's not good enough. It isn't. And for the people out there saying the excuses of injuries, I will give you the Arizona Cardinals have been dealing with a lot of injuries this year. I'll give you that. Absolutely. But those excuses are a dime a dozen. You either are a good head coach and you're a winning head coach, or you're not. And right now, Jonathan Gannon has proven that he's not. And it's just simple as that. Yes, excuses are something you can throw out there. And for the people out there that are always telling me, it doesn't matter, Mike, whoever we put at the head coach, it doesn't matter because Michael Bidwill needs to sell. Well, I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. Michael Bidwill needs to sell. But who's going to make Michael Bidwill sell? Who? Tell me right now. Point the finger and tell me who's going to make Michael Bidwill sell. Who? Right now, the realistic nature, the only hope that we have right now is potentially Michael Bidwill coming to his senses and saying, okay, we tried it. It didn't work. Let's move on. But right now, what we're seeing throughout the NFL is we're seeing coaches still being fired. If you guys did not know, I woke up this morning. Well, not woke up this morning. This actually happened about 30 minutes ago that the Jets decided to move off of their defensive coordinator. Yes, if this is a name that sounds familiar, it is, because this is former Arizona Cardinals head coach and Steve Wilks got fired again. Before anybody on this coaching staff, Jonathan Gannon, Petting, and Nick Rallis. What a day to be alive, ladies and gentlemen. What a day to be alive. Aaron Glenn came out, the head coach of the New York Jets, and came out and said, it's my job as the head coach to Do right by this organization. And guess what? I will give you all the claps, all the golf claps. I'll give you all the credit in the world because guess what? It's true. It is true. As a head coach, it's your job to put the best people available to put them in a position to succeed. Unfortunately, Wilkes got 1 year with the Cardinals, got fired, was an interim head coach for the Carolina Panthers, didn't stick around for that either. Bounced around for a lot of defensive coordinator positions, didn't really work out. And now this is kind of unfortunately another notch he can put on his belt because it's just not working for Wilkes. But I'm not even worried about Wilkes. I'm worried about the Arizona Cardinals right now, not really giving us anything to cheer about, right? A lot of these young, talented guys that we got under the Monty Fort regime, if they're not injured, they're not being consistent. It's just not working. Whatever it is, what we all told ourselves, what we all kind of came in peace in 2023 was this was supposed to be the payoff year right here. And for the people out there saying, well, we're not going to win, I'm not even looking for a win, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not looking for a win. I'm looking for a competent football team. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for a team that doesn't look lost. I'm looking for a team that doesn't look unprepared or doesn't shoot themselves in the foot every single game for whatever reason. That's what I'm looking for. And right now with Jonathan Gannon, I'm not getting that. I'm not getting it. And for some reason, Jonathan Gannon refuses to make any moves. Now, right now, doesn't matter. You got 3 games left. Why make a firing? Well, I mean, you're right. It doesn't make sense. And the same thing goes for Michael Bidwill. Will Jonathan get fired or Jonathan Gannon get fired? Probably not. Because guess what? You got 3 games left. And for some odd reason, Gannon is given the longest leash I've seen out of any head coaches ever. Because right now, the murkiness of the future of Jonathan Gannon is still up there. We don't know exactly if he's coming back or not. But guess what? That being on top of your head, right? The idea that he's still there and there's a possibility that he might bring him back due to monetary reasons. Of course, that's enough to make a lot of Cardinal fans pissed off. There's a lot of Cardinal fans that are canceling their season tickets in droves. So for the reports out there about, oh, he's coming back regardless of what Cardinal fans think, or, I see a move happening because you can't lose this many games, this, and that. And there are other reports coming out saying, oh, I think Michael Bidwill is for the best benefit for, Gannon to stay. All that is moot. There's only one person making a decision right now. One person making a decision. That's going to be Michael Bidwill. Everybody can have their opinions on what they think is going to happen, but it's all going to come down to Michael Bidwill. What is the decision that you're going to make? What's the decision that you're going to give this fan base and let them know that, hey, we're going to be turning this around? Because Jonathan Gannon was asked, right? What do you got to tell this fan base? He says, stick with us. We're going to turn this around. Are you? Are you? Are you seriously going to sit here with a straight face and tell us you're going to turn this around? Ladies and gentlemen, the Cardinals have had a 5-game losing streak and a 6-game losing streak in 1 year. In 1 year. We potentially can be a 3-win team. And the worst part of this whole situation is we're not even sitting at the first overall pick. Now, the good thing that came through with this weekend, now it didn't come through for us last weekend, unfortunately. But this weekend, a lot of moving parts ended up happening. And guess what? The Arizona Cardinals moved up in the draft order. So if you're looking for some sort of light at the end of the tunnel, this is the light at the end of the tunnel, that the Cardinals at least have a little closer chance to move up to that first overall pick. Now, are the Cardinals in prime position for Fernando Mendoza? No, we're not. Because there's other teams that suck worse than us in terms of record-wise. Now, this whole strength of schedule is really effing the Cardinals. We potentially should be at the 4th overall pick or the 5th, but the strength of schedule, unfortunately, is effing us. So we're here right now. You got Tennessee with 2 wins. They got the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, Kansas City no longer has Patrick Mahomes. I'm not going to come out here saying we're going to see an upset from the Tennessee Titans to Kansas City because I still do think they got a really good team, but you never know. Something to keep your eyes on. I don't think the Vegas Raiders are going to win another game. I think they're that darn bad. They're that darn bad. And I feel bad if they do go after Fernando Mendoza. At least we got a team that has weapons. I don't think Vegas got that. I really don't think the Vegas Raiders has anything like that. The Giants, on the other hand, they're right now in prime position where they got their quarterback, or at least right now they got their quarterback with Jackson Dart. But you never know. They're sitting at the first overall pick. Cleveland, you don't know what the hell they're going to do. Jets, you don't know what the heck they're going to do, right? Right now, you got three teams that are in front of you that potentially can go after a quarterback, potentially. Now, could one of those three teams be in the market for Kyler? Maybe. Maybe. If you want to have a little saving grace, maybe. Any of these three teams could be in the market for Kyler. The Jets, Cleveland, Raiders. If I was Monty Ossenfort, that's who you would be calling first. Right there. And I'm not coming out here saying we're going to get the 5th overall pick or the 4th overall pick or the 2nd overall pick. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you give a quarterback needy team a franchise quarterback, quote unquote franchise quarterback, and then we don't have to worry about any of these guys picking our guy. That's all I'm saying. I don't think Kyler Murray is worth the 5th overall, 4th overall, and the 2nd overall pick. Heck no, I don't. But what I'm saying is if you give one of these teams a quarterback, which, let's be real, it feels like a divorce is coming with the Cardinals. I feel like the Cardinals made a decision. Now, whether that's Gannon giving full autonomy to make this tank happen, I don't know. But they chose Jacoby Brissett, and I'm not going to lie to you. I was on board for it. I didn't think the Cardinals were going to go on a run with Jacoby Brissett, regardless of what people think. I still do think that this offense runs better with Jacoby, but I'm going to be real here right now, right? The Cardinals are always so far behind that it does feel like a lot of those points that we're getting, a lot of those yardage is, I mean, it's probably garbage yardage. But on the other side of the coin, the teams that we're playing on the back end are a lot better than what we played in the beginning part of the season. Let's be real here. Like, we have a juggernaut of the teams that we're playing. So yes, you can say garbage time merchant, right? You can say, oh, these yardage are always garbage time. You're right. But the Cardinals are always putting themselves in the position that they have to throw the ball up and down the field to catch up something. And then B, who we're playing is far superior of who we played in the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season. Let's be real here. Like, the Cardinals have not had a break at all. Now, that's no excuse. There's no excuse. But nobody ever came out and said Jacoby Brissett was going to be the future. Nobody did. All I said was that Jacoby Brissett looks better in this system. Cardinals agreed. They decided to move on. And let's be real. I would rather be a 3-win team with a guy getting paid $8 million as opposed to a 3-win team or a 4 or 5-win team with a guy getting paid $45 million plus. I think it's time for the Cardinals to move on, and I think they agree as well. So we're here. Regardless of the way people think or not, this is the decision the Cardinals decided to make. We are here. Now, the big question out there is Jonathan Gannon going to be the future of the Cardinals moving forward? Well, that's the big question, right? That's the big question. To me, I think there's so many questions that we got to ask ourselves before we say yes or no. Because realistically, like I said before, Jonathan Gannon being 15-33, is that all his fault? No, but I do believe that he probably could have set up a better plan for himself in terms of a quarterback position. If you had any, right, regardless of what you told the people, regardless if you told the media, you know that the NFL, he said it himself, it stands for not for long league, right? Some people say not fun league, whatever. He says not for long league. So you, Jonathan Gannon, you tied your career to Kyler because you refused to do anything for a backup plan. I would have gotten a little bit, or I would have given you a little bit more, I guess, leeway if you did do something like that. If you gone after a Shador, if you gone after a Jackson Dart, if you did something that was going to give a set of us for the future, you didn't. You had 3 years to do it, and you didn't. Along with Monty Ossenfort, you didn't. You put us in a position that the problem was right there in front of us, and you refused to do anything. So that's also what kind of makes me mad about JG as well. You're a 15-33 head coach. You didn't put us in a position to succeed when we already know that the soft benching happened. Let's be real. Kyler Murray's foot injury was probably an issue for maybe a week or two, but he probably most likely could have came back. Let's be real with ourselves. The Cardinals made a decision to move off, and they did. I don't blame them for that. I think it's smart. I think the Cardinals need to decide to start over, and see if we can get a quarterback that can win in this division. That's what we need to do moving forward. Now, yes, is Kyler Murray a better quarterback than JB Jacoby? Yeah, of course. Nobody's ever said that he wasn't. I still do think that JB fits this system better, and we were seeing more explosives from JB in the first 2 or 3 weeks than we did from Kyler in a very, very long time, consistently. So I'm still on my guns and saying the Cardinals made the right decision. Yes, we're a 3-win team. Yes, John, the whole Jacoby Brissett time is, running out in terms of people liking what they're seeing in this product, because I get it. The wins aren't coming. I get that. The wins aren't coming. You could have 250, 280, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, 300, whatever. What matters most is the wins, and you're not getting that from Jacoby. What I think the Arizona Cardinals should do, and I've been saying this for the very longest time, they got to go after a young rookie quarterback in the draft and allow him to develop for at least the first month, or if they feel like he's truly ready, let's see what he can do. But the Cardinals need to start thinking of the future now. You cannot go into 2026 with just Jacoby Brissett. So that's number one question right there. Second question is, if Jonathan Gannon does come back, if he does, and I get it, I don't want to talk about this because it makes me throw up inside. And I get it. I've seen this. I've seen a super chat come in. I'll get to that super chat. I promise you. I didn't forget you. I'm going to get to that super chat. I promise, Michael. But another question I got to answer, if he does come back, which I don't want him to come back, but if he does come back due to monetary reasons, my question here is, who are you going to bring in at the offensive coordinator position? Are you truly going to bring these offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator back? Nick Rallis has mightily regressed from what we thought he was. And guess what? He has more talent this year than he did in 2023 and 2024. I don't get why the regression happened, but it happened. Are you truly bringing back both of these coordinators? What is your plan? Who are you bringing in to the Cardinals? Are you bringing in some experienced guys, or are you bringing in some guys that are unknown guys again? Right? That's the next big question. What's the plan? Who's your next offensive coordinator? Because I don't see a world where if JG keeps his job, he's able to bring back his coordinators. And if that happens, oh my God. Flipping table seasons, ladies and gentlemen, because this organization is clueless as they come. Something needs to give. Something needs to change. I primarily would love nothing more than to rip it all off like a Band-Aid. Get them all out of here and start fresh, start over. Because like I said before, multiple months back, you're just delaying the inevitable. You're kicking the can down the road for what? To save you some, couple $1 million. Well, guess what? Cardinal fans are tuning off. Cardinal fans are fleeing in droves right now. Season ticket holders are canceling their tickets in droves because they're not happy with this product that you're putting out. Jonathan Gannon right now is on a 6-game losing streak. They got the Atlanta Falcons coming up, the Bengals in Cincinnati, and the Rams. Can this Cardinals team beat the Rams? I mean, they might sit their guys. Can the Cardinals win in Cincinnati? I mean, hopefully Joe Burrow plays. The Falcons right now is probably the team that I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. I still do think that they have a sneaky defense. I really do. I think their defense is actually pretty sneaky. I like their first round picks. I thought their first round picks were really, really good. Contrary of what people are saying out there. Atlanta gave up a first round pick for James Pierce Jr. What idiots. James Pierce Jr. is looking like a really good pick. Jalen Walker is looking like a really good pick. So guess what? Yes, the Rams decided to do the Falcons decided to do something out of the norm, trade back into the first round, and get themselves James Pierce Jr. Guess what? That kid looks really good. Just like I wanted. I wanted James Pierce Jr. on this team. Jalen Walker, another player that could have been a really good fit for this Cardinals defense in a really big position of need. Guess what? He looks like a really good player as well. And I get it. Walter Nolan looks good when healthy. When healthy. Can he stay healthy is the big question. We don't know. We don't know. But when we see him out there, he looks solid. He got himself a sack this last game. Cool. Excited about that. But big question is, can he stay healthy? Same goes for Will Johnson. Will Johnson has taken a little bit of a step back since he's come back from the injury. A little bit of a step back. He was playing really well in the beginning part of the season, playing really well. And now, especially in the Texans game, he's kind of been, unfortunately, on the other side of really bad plays and kind of looks a little lost back there. But it's his rookie year. We're going to give him some mulligan. I'm not going to come out here and say he shouldn't have been the second round pick. I think he's still a really good pick, and I think he's going to flourish really well. Let me get to my guy, Michael, coming in with the super chat. What's up, Michael? Appreciate you. He's saying this: Cards are a year behind every year. Yeah? Yeah? What was, for the OGs that was here in the offseason, what was my biggest concern on this roster? What was my two biggest concerns on this roster? If anybody remembers, let me know here in the chat. What was my biggest concerns? And people told me, it's fine, trust the process, it's going to be good, right? It's going to be fine. Two biggest concerns. Well, one was the fact that the Arizona Cardinals didn't address anything on the offensive side of the ball, with the exception of Hayden Connor, which has found himself on the IR, and I believe he's back, but not being a starter, right? That was a big concern of mine. What's going on? And on top of that, another concern in training camp that I brought to your guys' attention is, why isn't Michael Wilson getting involved? But everybody told themselves, Michael Wilson is not good. He's a 2.5, 3 wide receiver. But I'm like, even though, who cares? Give him the ball. Give him the opportunity. Throw the ball to him, right? That was another concern as well, where we're focusing, hyper-focus on so much on this offense, and that was mainly McBride and Marv. That was a hyper-focus on this offense. So that was a concern. And then on the other side of the ball, we all know the cornerbacks were kind of a little young, but I told myself, okay, Will Johnson, and unfortunately you saw Sean Murphy Bunting go down before the season. Starling Thomas got hurt in training camp. A lot of our starting guys got hurt, and they've been in and out of the lineup. Max Melton, when is he coming back? I don't know. I don't know. Cornerback was a little bit of a concern, but I'm like, okay, we got a lot of potential. My biggest concern was that middle linebacking spot on the defensive side of the line. There's no solution. There's no solution at all. The Cardinals have a big gaping hole. And what they decided to give us was Akeem Davis Gaither to be lined up on the other side of Mack Wilson Sr. And when Mack Wilson Sr. isn't there, ladies and gentlemen, it's known. You can feel it. You can feel it when he's not there. This defense is not playing the way that we thought this defense was going to be. The front four of the Arizona Cardinals defensive line has really, really shown that they're not that great. The constant pressure is not there. Josh Sweat can only do so much. Walter Nolan, I get as a rookie. But Darius Robinson, good God, where are you? Where are you? Where's Darius Robinson? I still remember when Darius Robinson ended up putting out that graphic of pretty much like him insinuating like Batman, right? Like, oh, the bat signal is out, right? I still remember that. And then right now I sit back and I laugh because I'm like, damn, like you were supposed to be the dude for the Cardinals. That's who you were supposed to be. And then the Cardinals ended up drafting Walter Nolan, pushed him a little further down the depth chart because obviously Calais Campbell is still doing it at a very, very age of 38, 39 years old. He's still doing it. It's just what you thought from these young guys that you thought you were going to get, we didn't get. That's a big deal as well. Michael in the chat says there's a big Monty problem. Honestly, the moves that Monty Ossenfort decided to make, I said to myself when I saw him make these moves, I'm going to allow 2 or 3 years to play out, and I'll see and evaluate then. I told that to myself. But I'm going to be real with you, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not coming out here hating on Paris Johnson Jr. I like the pick. I think he's a great guy. I think he's a bookend. But not nabbing one of the best young edge rushers you can at that spot that we were at was a failure on Monty Ossenfort's behalf. And for the people out there saying, no, that's not true because this, and that, we wouldn't have Paris Johnson Jr., this, and that, then you're just lying to yourself. Because honestly, with what Will Anderson Jr. is doing in his third year, or just his career in general, is spectacular. He's right now at 10.5 sacks, already forced 3 forced fumbles. Guess what? Last year, he had 11 sacks. Guess what? The year before that, 7 sacks. You traded out to trade back up to get Darius Robinson. And yes, we all were praising Marvin Harrison Jr. I was on that same boat as well. But Marvin is not equating to what we thought he was going to be. Am I giving up on him? No, I'm not. But we got to point out the elephant in the room, right? You got to call the pig a pig. You can't paint lipstick on a pig and say, oh, it's beautiful. No, you can't. There's a problem with Marvin Harrison Jr. Now, can he stay healthy, or are the Cardinals making a business decision and just not throwing him out there? We don't know. We don't know what this organization is doing. So, a lot of issues. And that's not even to mention, let's not forget as well that Monty Ossenfort decided to trade back his second-round pick to accumulate another third-round pick and lost out the opportunity of A, Kamari Lassiter, and B, a Cooper DeJean. Let's not forget that. The Cardinals decided to go after Max Melton, which he's still young. Let's hope he gives us some sort of something. But let's be real. Kamari Lassiter is looking really well. He's the one who picked off Jacoby Brissett in the end zone in this last game. Cooper DeJean, already a Super Bowl champion. Now, that's not because of him, but he's a really good player. Let's not forget, Monty Ossenfort decided to trade back to accumulate more draft picks that hasn't done nothing. That hasn't done diddly for the Cardinals. And right now, like I said, Walter Nolan and Will Johnson look good. But I'm going to allow 2 years to develop to see exactly how this shakes out. But who I really wanted at the 16th overall pick was James Pierce Jr., Jalen Walker. Hell, I wouldn't even taken a trade back and potentially going after the, what was it, Justin Simmons, I believe his name was. The tackle from, and he got hurt too. Not Justin Simmons. How am I blanking on his name? He's with the Chiefs now. I know he got hurt as well. I forgot his name. Something Simmons. What's his name? Josh Simmons. Sorry, Josh Simmons. Hell, I would have even taken Josh Simmons as well. Jalen Walker looking really good as well out of Georgia. And those Bulldogs, man, they look really, really good on defense. James Pierce Jr. right now, the guy I really wanted, 8 sacks on a season. 8 sacks, 1 forced fumble. I like what Walter Nolan's doing, don't get me wrong, but can he stay healthy? It's another question. Just a lot of question marks, man. A lot of question marks. And it all surrounding, can these guys get it done? I don't know if they can. To be real with you, I don't know if Gannon has another brilliant idea. Gannon doesn't have the tree. Because guess what? Petsy might be let go. Nick Rallis can probably go as well. At this point, I don't know what the heck he's doing. It's a mess. It's a big, 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 big mess. And I know right now, Paris Johnson Jr. is up for a Pro Bowl, right? And it depends on votes. Fan favorite. Is Paris Johnson Jr. going to get that? I mean, if he does, that's because the Bird Gang rallied together and they started retweeting things and they started doing this, and that. But let's be real. Will Anderson Jr. should have been the pick. It should have been the pick. This kid is playing at a multi-Pro Bowl level, and it's not even close. Max Melton on the other side, I get it. It's only his year too. Why did we trade back and not gone after Kamari Lassiter? Why didn't we go after Cooper DeJean? Because Monty Ossenfort loves draft picks. My precious, I love them all, but they're not really working. We had 4 third-round picks, and none of them are doing nothing on this team. Elijah Jones, Trey Benson can't stay healthy. Tip Ryman got hurt this year. And Isaiah Adams, which hopefully, fingers crossed, he could be the right tackle of the future, but there's still a lot of unknown there. Naeem in the chat says, man, I would be shocked if Michael Wilson be named. If Michael Wilson was doing what he was doing in the beginning of the year, he probably would have been in consideration. I think it's just too late into the season for Michael Wilson. I don't think he's even up there with those names at this point of when he was starting to do it. If he was doing it in the beginning of the season, of course, he would be up there. But the Cardinals are who they are. For the people out there that are telling you that Gannon deserves another opportunity, whether it's their own personal belief or their sources, quote unquote sources, y'all need to stop listening to them. Because I'll tell you one thing right now. If Gannon doesn't get fired this year, he's going to sure as hell get fired next year. And you're kicking the can down the road. That's all you're doing. What don't we get? If you're a good head coach, you're going to win from the jump. We saw that with Wisenhunt. We saw that with Arians. That's it. And yes, there is opportunity for you to be a bad coach to start because you're quote unquote rebuilding. And then you get to the point where you're like, okay, you're consistent. But for the most part, a lot of these head coaches that keep their job in longevity is probably most likely because they won really well in the beginning and they're consistently really good. Gannon isn't that guy. And I don't know, like I almost want to take Michael Bidwill and do this to him, right? Like that whole meme, like the opening your eyes. He's not him. He's not him. He's not better than Mike McDonald. He's not better than Sean McVay. He's not better than Kyle Shanahan. He's already proved to you in 3 years he's not him. Anybody who tells you got to keep Gannon because of injuries is BSing. And they're probably going with that narrative because they want to be right. Oh, I told you he was going to come back. F being right. F takes. F all that BS. You got to look down seriously on this organization and say, do you think this guy is going to be your future? Do you see Jonathan Gannon as a guy for the next 2 or 3 years to take us on a Super Bowl run? No. 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 Why kick the can down the road and delay the inevitable? He ain't him. Can't hang with the big dogs. Can't hang with the big dogs. Rip it off like a Band-Aid. Get rid of them. And the monetary reasons that you're too scared to make a move, Michael Bidwill, F those monetary reasons. Do something that brings this fan base back because guess what? It's ghost towns. It's tumbleweed season right now. And right now, there's more questions than answers leaving this season as opposed to coming into 2025. Let me give a real quick shout out to the sponsors. Then we're going to continue the conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, everybody, for being here, by the way. Shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. Smack the like button, everybody. Thanks for being here. Shout out here to Sleeper, proud sponsors of the Easy Sports Fan here on YouTube. The guys that are keeping the lights on. The NFL season is here, which means you now have a chance to 100 times your cash on daily fantasy football. Pick on stats for stars like touchdowns, passing yards, receiving yards, and fantasy points and more for up to 100 times a payout on Sleeper. Get your picks right, and you can win big. Use promo code AZSF, and you can get up to a $100 deposit match on your first initial deposit. Terms and conditions do apply. Everything will be in the description below of the video. Now, another thing that you will also be getting if you use my promo code, you get a free $20 just like that. No deposit needed. All you need to do is use my promo code, AZSF, upon signing up. Use promo code AZSF, and you get this free $20. All right, check out Sleeper, proud sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube, and let's continue the conversation. Let's bring the chat involved, and let's see what you guys have to say. We got Tom G saying sell the franchise. Well, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. Hell yeah, sell the franchise. But for the people out there saying that nothing's ever going to change until Michael Bidwill sells or Michael Bidwill is not the owner, you're right. But the problem is that ain't nobody got a billionaire on their payroll. You got Matt Ishbia's number on tap. You got Matt Ishbia's or any other payroll or any other billionaire on your speed dial. Please, for the love of God, call him. Because this is one of the biggest cities in the United States, one of the biggest and fastest growing cities in the United States. And you're telling me that you can't cash out big on a NFL team, one of 32 in the United States. You can't cash out big, and you're constantly always poor and seen to be as a broke NFL owner. Well, because you ain't doing the right things, buddy. You ain't doing the right things, buddy. But no, I don't want them to relocate him. I want him to stay here. Unfortunately, I love the pain. I would rather have an NFL team in Phoenix, Arizona than not. But I agree. Maybe another billionaire can take over and hopefully be that guy for us, because obviously Michael Bidwill isn't. Let's go with Matthew. What's up, Matthew? Bidwill's so cheap. He wastes so much more money on sucky players and coaches that he spent more money on great coaches, more free agents, and will start winning. Yeah, 100%. It's crazy because it all just comes down to the decision making that you make. As simple as that. It comes down to the decision making that you're making, and you're not making good business decisions for a sustainable organization. Simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. I still remember the Sean Payton era where we thought we might have had Sean Payton. Remember that? He actually gave us the time of day to come to Phoenix, Arizona. I'm assuming Michael Bidwill took him out to dinner. But what could have been? What could have been if the Arizona Cardinals decided to actually bring in Peyton Manning? What could have been if these decisions that are being made were actually correct decisions? In year 2 of Monty Ossenfort was probably one of the biggest flops I've seen in a very long time. Justin Jones, Bilal Nichols, Jonah Williams. Crap. You're throwing away $20, $25 million on absolute crap. Sorry to say it, but it's the truth. You're not allocating the money to actually right decisions, Monty. Bidwill for approving these moves. Guess what? That $10, $20 million that you spend in the 2 years that they've been here, plus that you've got all these guys in this, you probably could have got a better head coach. You brought in Sean Payton. We would have accepted a free agency that wasn't really worth it because you brought in a coach that can do something with nothing. The problem is that Jonathan Gannon can't do something with nothing. And it's already evident. He's not a good head coach. He's not. Lorenzo in the chat says, if we do get rid of Monty, what's the names you have in mind? I don't really have anybody in mind because I don't think he's going to go. I don't think the Cardinals are smart enough to allow him to go. Because guess what? Monty is saving money for Bidwill. He's saving the money with the lack of moves that he's doing. He's also costing him money with stupid decisions, but he's also saving him money because guess what? We're not bringing in people that are actually football players in the NFL. Sorry, NFL football caliber players whenever we need somebody to come in. We're not bringing those guys in. And guess what? That's saving him money. I don't think Monty's going. I really don't. But the question right now is JG. But if it was my decision, burn it down to the ground. If it was my decision, burn it down to the ground. Get rid of Monty, get rid of JG, and the rest of his minions. Get rid of them all. If it was my decision, if I was Michael Bidwill, that's what I would do. Burn it to the ground. It's not my decision, unfortunately. But you're telling me a podcaster, a guy that gets paid nowhere near millions of dollars, can hit draft picks better than our guy Monty? You're telling me that? You're telling me that my draft picks, if I were to recreate this team, would have been better in a better situation? Well, guess what? If I was the general manager, I would have had a quarterback plan outside of Kyler. Hell yeah, I would have. I would have started it last year. Kyler wasn't the guy of Monty and JG. That's what I would have done. This organization will continuously always be in this situation because they don't solve problems. They wait for it to be right there. Dirty, smelly, right at your front step, your doorstep. That's when they wait to resolve these problems when you should have been thinking about this a year ago. You should have been thinking of this a year ago. I just hate that we're here. I hate that we're here right now because, yes, we shouldn't have been here. And will the Cardinals make a move? They probably won't until Black Friday. Because guess what? Why? Why make a move, right? Gannon's looking for anything. Gannon's looking for anything right now to hold on to his job. He's looking for anything right now to hold on to his job right now. That can be a win from Atlanta, a win from a Rams team that might be sitting down their players, or maybe a Cincinnati Bengals team that probably doesn't want to throw Burrow in there at the end. Who knows? They're already eliminated from contention. We've already heard the comments from Burrow. So it's a mess, man. Wait, what? I'm just seeing some news right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just seeing some news that are having to do with the Arizona Cardinals. It says, check this out. From Justin Thind, says news, Michigan is set to hire Arizona Cardinals defensive line head coach Winston DeLato-Bodere, sources tell us, and they're tagging somebody. The 27-year-old rising star had another P4 schools. So this man would rather play or coach for Michigan State than the Arizona Cardinals. This just came down probably about 2 hours ago. How did I miss this? Check this out. Do you remember the interviews from this guy? Yeah, he's jumping ship. He said, deuces, I'm gone. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. The guy that we just signed this year. What was he for the Cardinals? Let's see. He was the defensive line. Oh my God, it says it right there. I'm an idiot. He was a defensive line head coach. The defensive line coach for the Cardinals. And now he's jumping ship to Michigan State. He said deuces. He said deuces. I'm out. I'm out. Well, guess what? There's other guys you can go ahead and take with you as well. Petzing, Rallis, take Jeff Rogers as well. Take Gannon with you. They're all gone. I hope so. Well, there you go. I don't know how I just saw that. Sheesh. All right, let's keep it with the chat. He was a Nick Rallis hire. Why do you think he was jumping ship? Oh, if he's accepting another position, and if he's accepting another position, I'm assuming he's leaving the Cardinals. He's accepting another position. Everyone's got to go anyways. Yeah, I agree. This is not one of those things where I'm like, oh man, it sucks. Oh, this is really gonna hurt. No, Nobody even heard of this. With the exception of watching a few interviews in the offseason, that's really the only interaction, not even an interaction, thoughts I've had of him. I mean, he seemed like a cool dude, but better opportunity. Deuces. But it is what it is. Gannon and the staff eat corn. Yikes. Yikes. JG is holding on to Drew Petzing for dear life because he's who he's counting on to save him. Yikes. We got Petzing from the Browns and thought it was a good idea. And that's another thing, too. Okay, let's say you have JG come back. Let's say Petzing is another portion of guys that get the axe. Let's just say we live in that world, right? What's your plan? What's your plan? What's your plan? Like, who are you going to bring in as offensive coordinator? What's the plan? Are you have another offensive coordinator in mind? I'm talking about Gannon, not you guys. I'm talking about Gannon. Okay, let's just say we live in a world where Gannon does come back. Do you see Petzing coming back? I mean, probably not. We just saw Aaron Glenn, head coach of the New York Jets, could have been the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals decided to go that way, but we just saw Aaron Glenn fire Steve Wilkes probably about an hour ago from now, maybe about an hour and a half now. Steve Wilkes got the axe again. Aaron Glenn just did this. And he said that my job as a head coach is to put, there was no, we didn't get better from last week. He made a decision, a business decision. He said, deuces, you're not going to be the defensive coordinator for the Jets anymore. And the Cardinals over here chilling. John in the chat says Shula. I do like Shula. I also do like Mike LaFleur. It's a defensive coordinator, right? Shula, what's his first name? How did I forget his first name? Let's see here. Chris Shula. Yep. So Chris Shula, defensive coordinator. So guys that I have my eye on. If the Cardinals did now, keep in mind, I'm not saying the Cardinals are going to snipe away Chris Shula to be our defensive coordinator. No, I'm not saying that. You will not leave a perfect position to leave to a losing organization to take a lateral move. No, I'm saying for a potential head coaching opening, if it happens, I would like Chris Shula. Mike LaFleur is pretty intriguing. And yes, that's the brother of Matt LaFleur, but he's the offensive coordinator for the Rams. So 2 Rams guys I have my eye on. They're coordinators. I like them. I feel like they're pretty capable. Saleh, I like Saleh. I don't get Robert Saleh. I don't know what it is. It might be because he looks like that one dude from 300. Or is it 300? That one, I don't know. It's one of those movies. That bald dude. Big, tall, bald. Probably because no, I'm just kidding. He's a good defensive coordinator. He is. And of course, if there's other firings from coaches, I mean, I'm intrigued. But I just don't know who Monty or JG is going to bring out of stadium. Who would want to come here? Who? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what Jonathan Gannon is going to do. I really don't. I don't know what Michael Bidwill is going to do. I really don't. I really don't. I think the Cardinals need to go on an offensive-minded coach. If they go defense, they go defense. I mean, it's not one of those things where it's end-all, be-all. But if you're going to get a rookie quarterback, if you're going to go after a rookie quarterback, you might need to start thinking about who can develop that rookie quarterback. I don't think JG is going to be able to do that. I don't think Petzing is going to be able to do that. So, let's see. But damn, oh damn, if Jacoby's the only quarterback in 2026, you get rid of Kyler, Just a flop, man. Flop. Do you miss Bruce Arians? Of course I do. Heck yeah, I do. A head coach. This is probably the last head coach that I feel like actually knew what he was doing. And unfortunately, he got ran out of Arizona. I'm not going to lie to you. I did also want him to fire his coordinator. I did want him to fire his coordinator as well. He said, no, I'm not going to do it. Decided to retire. Went into broadcasting, did it for a year, came back to the Bucks, and we all know the history from there. Yes, I miss Bruce Arians. Every single day of the year, I miss Bruce Arians. Yeah, this is the dude here. But tell me this doesn't look like freaking tell me this doesn't look like Robert Saleh. 1 second. Tell me this doesn't look like Robert Saleh. Come on now. And I had to even look up ball dude for a 300. Tell me this doesn't look like Robert Saleh. No, and that's not the reason why I want him, but kind of looks like it's pretty freaking cool. Yeah, so Saleh's pretty damn intriguing too. Let's be real. It will be another first-year coach. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Anything to go the cheap route. I feel like that's what that's what we're accustomed to. I mean, let's be real. And I get it. For the people out there saying, for the people for the people out there that are saying, regardless of what happens, if Bidwell's making a decision, or even now Monty's making a decision, we're going to be put back in the same situation. I mean, you're probably right. I don't think there's any arguments coming from me. I mean, you're probably right. It's just I gotta have hope. I gotta have hope to continue to do what I'm doing. I gotta have hope. And right now, there's no hope. Right now, there's no hope. There's no hope right now. And I see the chat, Mike Tomlin. Of course I want Mike Tomlin. Of course I do. There's a lot of things that need to go wrong for the Steelers in order for him to leave the Steelers. But we are here because we took a chance on young coaches and hoped that they would be able to turn it around. That's why we're here. And taking a chance on young coaches also means Michael Bidwill went the cheap route. Let's be real here. Michael Bidwill went the cheap route. He didn't want to go after Sean Payton. When a lot of Cardinal fans were cheering and jumping up and down with the thought of potentially bringing him in. Nah. It's interesting, man. I'm just curious to figure out. Let's just simulate the rest of this damn season, can we? Good God. Anything that can go wrong for the Cardinals has gone wrong. Let's put it that way. Fans are already booing him. I mean, I was at the Thursday night football game and they were booing him then. And you're talking about Gannon, right? Yeah, I mean, they were booing him then. They were booing him then. I'm just gonna keep it short and simple. I've talked about this before. Nah, I'm good. The guy says Kyler will thrive in Pittsburgh. Maybe. I don't know how he would be in cold weather, but if we could somehow, like anything right now, if we can get a second round, third round pick for Kyler, you got to do what you got to do. Just let's see if we can start over and we can go from there. Y'all know how I feel about Tomlin already. It's just there's a lot of things that need to happen in order for Mike Tomlin to be fired. But Here we go. Um, we got viral in the chat saying, "What will Cardinals cap situation be if they?" I think you're saying dump Kyler, not dump. Dump Kyler. You think you will get assets for him, or lucky to be able to afford? I mean, that's going to be this. I mean, that's the thing too. Monty Ossenfort is going to need to make a decision, and he's going to have to put a very. This is a very tall task. Do I trust Monty Ossenfort to do this? No, but we're here, right? No, I don't, but we're here. If Monty flat out releases Kyler, which there's people out there that feel like there's a possibility that that happens. And I'm talking about like big national guys feel like that can happen, that the Cardinals can flat out release him. That's just a flop, man. That's such a flop if the Cardinals did do that. You got to get something. You got to get something out of him. Right now, there's a lot of teams that are quarterback needy right now. You have it in your hands. Hype the living heck out of Kyler and said, "We didn't bench him. Oh, he's a great quarterback, a great person in the locker room. He studies. Look at his tablet right here. He studies every single day. He's a hard worker." You hype the living hell out of Kyler Murray to all these teams, and hopefully somebody bites. That's the only thing we got at this point. It's the only thing we got at this point. And if Kyler thrives somewhere else, good. Let him thrive. I'm not wishing any will ill on him. It's just not working here. As simple as that. It's not working here. So if he thrives in Pittsburgh, if he thrives in with KOC and the Vikings, if he thrives with the Raiders, the Jets, or the Browns, then good for him. Revive your career, young man. Because, yeah, I mean, you've kind of been taking a hit being a Cardinals franchise quarterback. And no, it's not all your fault. But divorce is imminent. It's got to happen. Feels like it. Michelle in the chat says Kevin O'Connell. I mean, Kevin O'Connell just beat the Cowboys yesterday. And I know that's not a lot. That's not saying a lot, right? That he just beat the Cowboys. But, I mean, he could potentially be leaving the season with like 7-8 wins. And if in that division, that's a pretty good season. Hell, if the Cardinals are sitting at 7-8 wins, he probably could have saved. I'm talking about Jonathan Gannon. Probably could have saved his job. We are the bottom of the barrel, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't get much worse than this. We're the bottom of the barrel. We're sitting at 3 wins and 11 losses. And guess what? Every team in the NFC West are already in double digits. Rams at 11, Seahawks at 11, 49ers at 10. We're the bottom of the barrel, man. It doesn't get worse than this. It's a big decisions to be made. Big decisions to be made. I don't trust Monty, but here we are. Unfortunately, as a Cardinal fan, sometimes you got to bite your tongue and just wait. See what happens. See how it all unfolds. Because right now, that's kind of all we got. But with that note, I like to end streams on a positive note. Let's just end it right there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Everybody who's been here. We had actually a constant 90, 100 views or concurrent viewers on YouTube. That's actually pretty amazing. Thank you guys for being here. If you could do me a huge favor, smack the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. We're on the road to 19K. I feel like I've been saying that for months now, but I get it. Cardinals aren't doing a damn thing. Ain't worth watching this team. So smack the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Appreciate you guys for being here. Hell, just even 5 of you being here is a blessing because this Cardinal team is not worth talking about. but here we are. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys are all amazing. Smack the like button. Shout out here to everybody in the chat. We got Khalid, we got Adrian, we got Michelle, Brandon, Russell, Juan, can't forget you, John as well, Javier, Zona. Thanks, guys. We're going to go ahead and close the shop right here. Thank you for tuning in. All right, y'all. Have a great rest of your day, and as always, go Cardinals and fire Gannon for the love of God. All right, y'all.